So let's get into today's show. Croatoan or Coronata is the question. And that's the title of today's show. The zombie apocalypse in a 2006 Supernatural episode, apparently caused by Croatoan, which when you scramble that word says Coronata. Now today we're going to look at episodes from the TV series Supernatural that dated back between 2006 and 2010. We're going to focus on the episodes that tell the story of a particular demonic disease, is what it's described as. And it's distributed to people in a V scene in the episode after they were intentionally given a flu. But this is all just fiction, right? Let's read this. The Croatoan virus leaves behind traces of sulfur in the bloodstream after 3-hour incubation, after which symptoms begin to surface. Infected people display murderous rage and sociopathic change to their personalities, eventually regressing into a more animalistic state, displaying no instinct. They also work together in packs and able to recognize if someone carries the virus, as they only target people who have been infected. So this is the typical zombie apocalypse going on here. It says, by the time the apocalypse started, Pestilence and his demons have been working to mutate the virus, causing the infected to display symptoms almost immediately. So, this was the Croatoan virus. Now, the name of the cure, because remember, the cure is put, or the Croatoan is put into the cure. And they field tested it in this town back in the 2006 episode. Turns the whole town into zombies. So you're asking, so what, Casey? There's a lot of virus zombie movies, right? This doesn't prove anything. Well, not so fast. The original name of Croatoan goes all the way back to a colony. Here it is right here. Croatan, and the people were called the Croatoan. And this is the Roanoke colony and the Native American Croatoan island and peoples. And the Roanoke colony was said to have disappeared. Now this is down near the island of Hatteras, which is a long, slender island. It's a reef island off the coast of North Carolina. And the Roanoke colony is one of the first U.S. colonies. And when they went to their Roanoke colony and they looked, they could not find the people of the Roanoke colony. And all they found was scrawled onto a piece of wood was the word Croatoan. But nobody really knows what happened to them. They could not confirm what exactly happened to these people. They thought they might have left to go hang out with the Croatoan Native Americans, but they could not confirm that. Now here's what else we know. We know that sometime in the Croatoan Native American history, they were nearly wiped out by an epidemic. And we also know that when you scramble the word Croatoan, it spells Coronata, which means crowned. It's the Italian word for crowned. Now, you can do the same thing with the word Roanoke. It spells Corone. And this word actually exists in the Morai language. Who were the Morai? Weren't these the people of Easter Island? I don't know. I think that might be them, or maybe it's someone else. Oh, it says New Zealand. So I think this is the language of Easter Island. So there's something going on here. So let's recap. We have two places, Roanoke and Croatoan. And they're connected by the disappearance of an entire colony. And both places scramble to the word Corona, Corona. So you have to ask yourself, was CV-19 named after Croatoan and Roanoke? Now, we'll get more into this in part 2, which I'll be uploading today, but it'll premiere tomorrow in the morning at this exact same time. We'll show you the episode from 2006 where the town is infected with Croatoan tomorrow. Today, we're going to break down a trailer that I uploaded last night that summarizes the plot. So, the world is ending in season 5, which was in 2010, and the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse make their appearance in the series Supernatural. Pestilence is introduced by the White Horse, called Death in the series. Pestilence infects the world with a flu in order to infect them again with Croatoan, hidden in the V scene. This is all fiction, of course, though, right? Now, Death, which is the White Horse in the series, is the boss of all the Reapers. And a large number of Reapers gathered in the town where Lucifer was going to release Death in order to serve him. And each of these Horsemen of the Apocalypse use a special ring that channels their core ability, without which they would not be able to take physical form, except for Death, the White Horse. Their rings, when they put them all together, become the key to Lucifer's cage in hell. And so the Horsemen altogether hold the key to sending him back to hell. This is the plot line of the Supernatural series. Now, I forgot to add a clip, but the White Horse Death is the only one of the Horsemen who gives up his ring voluntarily to the good guys in order to try to trap Lucifer. So, he has a ring or a crown, rings or crowns, and he carries Toxone, which is the pestilence. He's in charge of him. So, rings or crowns of the White Horseman, just like in Revelation 6. Let's break down this trailer. Watch.
4 rings from the Horsemen. 4 rings from the Horsemen.
4 rings from the Horsemen, so there are 4 rings. Remember, in the series, the White Horse's ring is the only one given up willingly, and that makes him different. The ring is the crown of Revelation 6.
Don't be so modest. I barely helped at all.
This is Crowley. He's one of the demons. I think he's Aleister Crowley. And look, even behind him, you see on the chalkboard a coronal ring. This looks like the iPad Go 2. Hierophant logo in the background is what it looks like. And
well, we got wars.
So this is from 2010. So they have to collect all these rings to put Lucifer back in prison. That's the game plan.
Nick famines. That's 2 rings down. Collect all 4.
I can give you pestilence. Do you want the Horseman rings or not?
What are we dealing with, you know? It's a virus of plague and pestilence. More like demonic germ warfare.
Croatoan.
Now they call it demonic germ warfare. Here's the anagram here of Croatoan. It directly translates to Coronata, which means crowned. So this was 2006, long time before any of this terminology came to the forefront. So it appears as though fiction is become reality, is what we could say. Let me turn the volume up on this so you guys can hear it a little bit better. Okay, let's keep going with this.
Croton, Croton, Croton.
Now, they go to the White Horse Death because they need the White Horse Death in order to go after a different horseman, which is Pestilence. Now, this clip you're looking at here is from the 2006 episode, and the episode is actually named Croatoan, and you can see the awareness ribbon here. Now, we had already discovered this awareness ribbon, and that it related back to Revelation 6 and the bow. A bow is a ribbon. The Greek word is toxon, and this is carried by the white horse along with his crown. Remember the ribbon bully decode that we did from the Seinfeld episode? And it was about HIV awareness, where, well, here we see it again in 2006. So what I want you to understand here is the ribbon is clearly associated with the White Rider and Pestilence. The two horses are connected.
Oh, we need a doctor here. Hello? Hello? Hello, we need a doctor here.
Now, what you're going to hear next is they're going to tell the story of Croatoan, just like I explained it when we opened the show today.
Roanoke was one of the first English colonies in America, late 1500s.
The only thing they left behind was a single word carved in the tree. Croatoan.
Yeah.
So both words, once again, scramble to say Corona, which is just really weird.
There were theories, Indian raid, disease, but nobody knows what really happened. They were all just gone. And wiped out overnight.
So there it is, scrawled on this piece of wood, which is similar to what people found in the settlement. It was all empty. It was all cryptic and creepy. There was not one soul left, and nobody knows what happened to the people of the Roanoke colony.
They want.
Now, this guy right here is the evil pharmaceutical company who produces the vaccine, which of course is contaminated with the Croatoan. We'll break this down more in the decode tomorrow, but this is just pretty much a summary.
Our vaccine. They need our vaccine. It's called demand, people. Now supply.
Now, here they show, the widespread production of the vaccine. It's warehoused, it's in boxes. There's tons of it. Remember, in the series, the FLU is spread only to get people to take the vaccine and infect them with the Croatoan. That's what's going on in the series.
Nevius Pharmaceuticals rushing delivery of its new swine flu vaccine to, quote, stem the tide of the unprecedented outbreak.
That vaccine is chock full of grade A farm fresh Croatoan virus.
So they're just explaining it to you in black and white. Try that a little bit more.
So pestilence was spreading swine flu.
Yeah, but not just for giggles. That was step one. Step two is the vaccine. And
So it's a two-step process.
I know.
Simultaneous countrywide distribution. It's quite a plan.
They don't get to be horsemen for nothing.
So this episode is from 2010. I keep telling you the time frames of these episodes so that you can understand that this isn't happening as we speak. This was hindsight. This was from before. Let me check in with you guys. We'll keep going with this. All right. Looks like you guys are here. Awesome. Okay. Let's keep going with this, you guys.
This time next Thursday, we'll all be living in Zombieland.
Sir, great news of vaccine trials. The results have been really quite grotesque. I think you'll be pleased.
Now, this guy holds up the newspaper, and I found a clear set of, clips here with the newspaper. We're going to read this together because this is eerily familiar. This is from 2010. So what it says here is the virus is a novel strain of the FLU for which extant Pokemon stickers against seasonal FLU provide little protection. So in other words, that's not going to help you. The seasonal FLU sticker won't help you. A study at the that found that children had no pre-existing immune the city to the new strain, but that adults over 60 had some immune the city. Let's keep reading. It says here, it has been determined that the strain contains genes from 5 different FLU viruses. So this is a mega FLU. Further analysis has shown that several proteins of the virus are similar to strains that cause mild symptoms in humans, leading this particular person on May 1st, which is Beltane, of course, that the initial indication are that the viruses are unlikely to cause severe symptoms for most people. So this kind of is happening right now, isn't it? Let's keep reading. It says there's no cross-reactive new strain something or other. It says children show no cross-reactive A-body reaction to the new strain. Adults 18 to 64 at 6.6 to 9%, and older adults 33. While it has been thought that these findings suggest the partial moon the city in older adults may be due to previous exposure. Okay, I'm just reading a newspaper here from an episode, in case anyone reviews this video. Not making any claims here. Okay, less lethal. Okay, so they talk about that rate fatality, which is 2 to 3%. Says the virus had infected 1 in 6 Americans, with 200,000 looks like hospitalizations and 10,000 deaths. Where are we at now? Supposedly, what is it? 600,000. So it says children showed something reaction. Okay. Says children showed no cross-reactivity to the A-body reaction to the new strain. So they're talking about strains. Wow. A lot of this sounds familiar, doesn't it? Talking about earthquakes and lightning storms. Now, this is the Pestilence character. He's one of the Horsemen, of course, and I call him the Candyman because he's followed by a swarm of flies instead of bees, and he likes to give out drugs, just like T-Rump's Veteran Affairs pick was nicknamed the Candyman because he liked to give out prescriptions. One thing I noticed was this sugar aspect surrounding this Pestilence character, and something about it, here it is, it says right here, sweet tooth, candy, Oh, well, there you go, right there. There's the Candyman. And so I think this is what feeds the viruses. You know what I mean? So remember, he's intentionally spreading the FLU so that he can give people the Pokemon sticker that is tainted with the Croatoan.
This stuff make you drowsy.
Orange ones are okay for daytime.
Okay, so who is this guy who plays Pestilence? Well, he was born in, his name is Matt Frewer, and he was born in 58. Of course, that's a number that we've covered many, many times on this channel. And guess what? He was nominated for 2 Gemini Awards, just like the T-Rump man is a Gemini. So can you guess who this rider of this horse is? Spiritually, he is T-Rump, the white horse, and the horse of Pestilence. Remember his Apollo penthouse on the 66th floor? Well, you're going to see the number 66 in this phone number here as the white horse is introduced into the series in 2010. Here's the phone number, 555-0166. That is the white horse's number, Apollo's number, just like we discovered. Now, there's another 66 synchronicity in the series when Death's existence is hinted at by Alistair when he performs a ritual to break one of the 66 seals. He claims an old friend loaned him his skith, and he doesn't really ride a pale horse, but he does have 3 amigos. So there are many clues suggesting that T-Rump was influenced by the white horse and the Horsemen of Pestilence. Now, the white horse in the series basically drives this old Cadillac, and on the license plate, this white Cadillac says, "Bye-bye," which of course is the T-Rump's signature tagline.
Oh, Dad. Oh, Dad. Won't you spare me over another?
So I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye. 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 I'm out of here. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay? Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.
Now let me back this up a bit, because the good guys finally catch up to the white horse, Death. Again, this is in 2010. They meet him at a pizza parlor. Now, we all know that T-Rump was mocked in a movie in the 1980s called The Pizza Man, and T-Rump was the pizza man. He even eats his pizza with a knife and a fork, just like the white rider that you're going to see here next, Death.
Are you coming? Join me, Dean. The pizza's delicious. Sit down.
Life, death, chicken, egg.
How old are you?
As old as God.
Now, he mentions the chicken and the egg, and we've covered that. It's the Orphic egg, of course. Now, there's even an episode called 99 Problems, and it's named after the Jay-Z song, 99 Problems. And they did the episode and titled it that way because it aired on the 99th day of the year, and it was the 99th total episode of the series. It aired in 2010, just before these Pestilence episodes aired. This is a nod to the 99 red balloons.
Maybe older. Neither of us can remember anymore.
Now, there's a lot of hinting at extreme climate change. And if we all look back in history, we realize that this had not occurred yet in 2010. I remember they were talking a lot about global warming and the threat and all of this, right? But they had not really been talking about extreme weather. But then they had to come up with that term because there were some places that got extremely cold. And that didn't jive with the whole global warming label. So they renamed it and they called it extreme weather. Weather extremes because of climate change. So they show that here in this episode.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Dean?
No, don't dean me. I mean, you have had some stupid ideas in the past. Good luck stopping the whole zombie apocalypse.
So we're going to dive deeper into the series tomorrow. I've already got it edited. I'm trying to just upload it. Got hit with a couple copyrights, and I just have to keep trying to re-edit it and get it uploaded for you guys. So, and then I ran out of time because it was time to do the show this morning. So I'll be editing that after the show, and I'll have that up for tomorrow, exactly the same time. Now, contrary to popular belief, this is not. Someone accused us of having an obsession with T-Rump. This is not what this is about. It's the exposing of the demon that is inhabiting all these presidents and what they were able to accomplish to deceive the world is what this is about. This isn't about a man. No man has this much power. It's about demons and demon possession and what these and how these people play out in these modern prophecies. Now, how are demons able to inhabit people? Well, it's because of the sin in your life. It could be a bloodline thing as well. But, it's amazing how the history of this man was completely ignored by the Christian community. Everything leading up to that in his life was completely ignored. And that is really the fruit of all of that. So that's what I had for you guys today. So like I said, we'll be back in here tomorrow. Now, I had some thoughts on the whole Blue Origins and William Shatner being that now the oldest man. So we had the oldest woman. Now we have the oldest man. And I was like, what is this about? What is the symbolism behind this? Speaking of people's fruit in their life, well, we all know that William Shatner played Captain Kirk. And what was it all about? It was all about, remember, he loved the women, and it's not a bad thing, but just the way he was depicted. He was the ladies' man, right? That's who William Shatner was. So I began thinking about this and what all of this represented. And Blue Origins and how that fit into all this. And what I found just gave me chills. This is the intermix chamber on the Starship Enterprise. It's where antimatter and matter are mixed together. Blue origins is the serpent origin. And the phallic rocket that the very youthful William Shatner just went up in is very telling about his life, isn't it? And it links in directly with what the serpent wants to be known for, which is his virility and ability to infect mankind. So what really is the blue origin? It's the serpent origin. And that's why this phallic rocket is talking about going past the blue. And those were his words. Those were William Shatner's words. As soon as he got off this rocket, he said, 1 second I was in the blue or in the atmosphere, and the next second I was in darkness. I was in death. And he said it happened very suddenly. It wasn't a gradual transition. This is the intermix chamber. And this is what the serpent wants to do. He wants to intermix. Now, how did I find this? Well, it's with spiritual eyes. Because there's a scene in I, Pet, Go 2 where there's a woman in a rocket, which I believe is Wally Funk. Why? Because she has a booster shoe, she has a short leg in the animation, and Wally Funk in real life has a booster shoe. And the woman is in the top of this phallic tower, which looks like a rocket in I, Pet, Go 2. We've all seen the scene in I, Pet, Go 2. Should probably play it for you guys right now. Let's see here. Okay, so let's pull up this scene in I, Pet, Go 2. Now we got to be careful. Whoops, I can't show that. All right, let's go back here. Now, here's the scene. Let's turn the volume down on this. I want you to, actually, no, we need the volume up because I want you to hear how I found the connection that I just explained to you. It's kind of loud. Let's turn this down a little bit. Sorry, I'm blasting your guys' ears out. I want you to listen very closely. You're going to hear reduction pressure. Now, this is the Blue Origins rocket, but it's also very phallic in its imagery, isn't it? So I looked up reduction pressure. Now, we've known this since about 2013. I've been like, what is this reduction pressure thing? Well, it's all about the intermix chamber. It's all about the intermix chamber. Decompression sickness. What does the intermix chamber do? It's about a reduction in pressure. You can't make this up. Intermix chamber was a major component of the starship's warp core that takes them to warp speed. Functions include the maintenance or regulation of plasma pressure within the core. Reduction pressure. In order to reduce the pressure, so you see this iPad Go 2 actually predicted warp speed. Excuse me, it actually also predicted Captain Kirk going up in the rocket, as well as Wally Funk going up in the rocket of Blue Origin, and the Blue Origin is, of course, the serpent and the seed. They're actually celebrating that the seed of the serpent has mixed his seed with the seed of humanity. So, I wanted to share that with you guys as well. And we'll probably do a pre-recorded between the headlines on like Sunday. Probably take Saturday off. Just relax. Crazy times, you guys. Crazy times. Let's go into the chat for a minute. Reduction pressure. Pressure sickness. It almost said reduction pressure November 6th is what I heard, but it's very hard to hear what she's saying because it's like a whisper and the music is in the background. So, yes, the phallus is the seed. Absolutely. And they're celebrating it. That's what my spiritual eyes tell me. It is crazy, right, Sandra? She was whispering reduction pressure November 6th, and that was in the background of I Pet Go 2 from 2012. Mingling the seed. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So what it says in the book of Daniel. Who are they, and why are they trying to mingle themselves with the seed of men in the last days? Yes, rest in peace, Rob. Thanks, Marianne. Oh, ouchie got an award, huh? Thanks, Uncle Paranoia. I tried reducing the speed, Knowledge 2020, and it's you would need like some kind of sound editing software, and you need to go in and like isolate the voice, and then you'd be able to hear a little bit more clearly because the music overpowers the whispering voice. But look, you can look back on this channel, and we had decoded that as reduction pressure back in 2013. I didn't know what it meant yet, but had I made the connection to warp speed in the warp core and the intermix chamber, that would be pretty telling, right? Seed War, exactly. Which is what the true meaning of Star Wars was all about. It was a seed war. That was the truth about it. A lot of awake people in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to pop off of here and try to get this uploaded here. Here it is right here. I mean, you can't make this up. There it is right there on your screen. But there's a lot more to it than that. But let's see if we can get this to upload, and we'll have it for tomorrow's morning show. Love each and every one of you guys. Have a great day.